Well, ladies and gentlemen, hey, hi, how you doing? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for stopping by. When I say that Warzone Mobile is leaking everything, I mean Warzone Mobile is leaking everything. Not just Modern Warfare 2 multiplayer, not just Warzone, not just DMZ, but also Call of Duty 2024 as well. If you were on Twitter yesterday, you saw the chaos go down. There are so many leaks, so many that we're not even going to cover all of them in this one lone video because there's too much to go over. Yesterday, it became very apparent very quickly that Warzone Mobile's files have way too much information on them because reality over on Twitter started dropping crazy amounts of information. Game images of Modern Warfare 2 and Call of Duty 2024 multiplayer maps. Today, we're not showing anything on screen because that's leaks and you're not allowed to do that. That'll get the channel taken down, but I am describing what was shown, what it means for the game and just the future. Like I said, so much stuff to go over, dude. As we break it all down, if you enjoyed the video at any point, let me know by dropping a like on it. Let's try and go for 2,000 likes on this video. And if you're new here or if you have not already subscribed, every day I got you covered with everything going on in COD, news, updates, leaks, loadouts. You're gonna find it right here, so feel free to subscribe. That way you can always guarantee you're up to date. So as mentioned, I cannot legally show anything on screen from these images that were put out there. If you're curious to see what these screenshots are of the map loading screens, is basically what we got here. They're out there on Twitter, they're out there on Reddit and various other sites. You know, search at your own risk. There are some spoilers there if you're at all trying to avoid those. But yeah, yesterday afternoon hit and the timeline started going crazy with actual in-game loading screen images of MW2, and quite a few of them actually looked familiar to me specifically because during the early look that I got at MW2 with a handful of other creators, they talked about some of the multiplayer maps. We went over them in our previous MW2 reveal video, and in the background of like the slides that they showed us were the map preview images, including some of the ones that ended up leaking yesterday, which obviously provides a lot of confirmation and validity to these leaks. So, you know, while things still are subject to change, take it for what it is because there are certain things here that were in fact confirmed earlier on this year when I got to see the game a bit early. But getting into these images, I'm not going in the particular order of where they were leaked, just the ones that I have scrolling through here as I'm trying to my best to detail these as I can to you guys. The supposed cover art for the game was found in the files, which essentially depicts various Task Force 141 members, I would assume, walking through what appears to be a very shallow river with a boat, like a little inflatable boat that they're carrying behind them. This is something that was leaked a long time ago from Tom Henderson. He basically like drew a picture of it and recreated it. So we've known about that, but again, that sort of brings some validity and some credibility to these specific leaks. Also, apparently the DMZ like key art or cover art was included in these files, in which we were able to see like the backs of some soldiers. We saw them wearing like a tan helmet, a tan backpack, then just like a standard military outfit. That really doesn't give us any information at all about DMZ, but it does sort of confirm that it's going to be right there alongside MW2. We've already heard in the past they're going to be doing campaign multiplayer, a co-op mode, and supposedly DMZ is going to be separate sometime in early 2023, but somehow that also ended up in the Warzone Mobile files. But getting into some of the maps now, Farm 18, if you watch my reveal video for MW2, that name might be familiar to you. That was one of the maps that had its image leaked, and it appears to just be some kind of old factory. The way that they described it to us, Infinity Ward described it to us when I was able to see the game early, was an abandoned factory that now sort of works as a military training facility. So I imagine this map's going to be very similar to like Shoot House or DOS House in Vanguard, but it seems like it takes place inside of some kind of old rundown factory of some kind. I can't really gauge what kind of factory it is, but the image that was leaked shows the outside, a taller factory building that I don't think will be accessible because we'll be inside, but gives the general environment for that there. Following that, a new map called Fishtown ended up leaking, and this is apparently one of the locations on the Warzone map as well. From what we were able to see from this, there appears to be like some kind of small lighthouse building that is a little bit more established. There's like a ground floor that's a lot larger than the silo of the lighthouse, and it seems like it's stationed like right on top of a small beach or a small coastline. There was an abandoned ship, like a little not like canoe, but a small boat that was run up on the beach there. There were some palm trees all around it, and it seemed like it was right next to some water with sort of like a sandy environment with a little bit of grass here and there. So it definitely seems like the Warzone map, at least based off the images that we're going to run through here, is definitely, it's got a lot of desert and sand properties to it, I guess you could say. Next up, we have Grand Prix, and if you watched the reveal video, I'm sure that name sounds familiar to you as well. The way that Infinity Ward described this map to us when I saw the game early was it was set in Asia at a racetrack at night, and the leaked image for this is literally showing like an F1 race going on at night. You can see a large city in the background, so it basically is exactly what they told us it was going to be, at least judging off of that image. Again, bringing more credibility to this overall leak. The next map is called Hydro. This one's kind of an interesting one. Think Oasis from MW3 DLC in a way. That's what I envision here. There is a small dock that was in the bottom right of the screen, a palm tree left to the left of that, a little river running through the center of the image, and then in the background there was a more established town, some stone structures, and also some buildings that were a little bit higher up. So I'm not sure if this was a multiplayer map, if this was part of the Warzone map or what, but it did seem like there was a decent amount of verticality included there. After that, we had Museum, another map that was detailed to us when I saw the game early, so more credibility and more validity to this leak. About as explanatory as it gets in the name. It's a museum. It's got like a white stone building, and inside there are things you can view that are from the past. That's a museum for you. And I got nothing else to add to it. Like, there's not much I can describe there. The next one is some kind of oil field map. And when I look at this map, when I saw this image, it reminded me a lot of Solar, I think it was called, from Advanced Warfare. There were two sort of like oil cylinders, kind of like what we got on the Warzone map now, with a slight bridge connecting them. So we don't really gain much of like an oil field vibe from this, but that's apparently the name of the map. And like I said, reminds me a lot of like Solar from Advanced Warfare. Then we get into a very interesting map that does not stem from MW2. It actually stems from Treyarch's next game in COD 2024. The map name is apparently called Pillage, and in this image, it seems like it's almost like the interior of a Naya Palace. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, it's very similar looking to that. You can see two soldiers, one has like a standard helmet on, one appears to have some kind of mask. I can't tell if it's a ghost mask or what, but something similar to that on their face. And then it's, like I said, it's the interior of a building that looks like a Naya Palace. There's a giant chandelier there, but it's from a Treyarch game in COD 2024. Why these files are in Warzone Mobile, I do not understand. Oh, and by the way, later on this week, we're talking other COD 2024 leaks that stemmed from Warzone Mobile as well, so be on the lookout for that in a couple of days' time. The next map that was leaked was called Saba, and this doesn't really, again, ring a bell with anything in particular. It is some kind of town. There's a statue of a guy riding on a horse that has armor in the center of it. There's some more palm trees, so sort of tropical or coastal based yet again. Buildings that again kind of look like they're from a Naya Palace. There's like the domed little cylinder building, and then just like some stone buildings, some stairs, a little bit of verticality, some big wooden doors. Kind of reminds me of Dust 2 a little bit, but not really much I can describe out of that one. We also have a map called Sierra, which is actually a ground war map apparently. You'll never guess, but there are in fact more palm trees that were shown in this one. And then it almost kind of looks like it's a like train station entrance or some kind of transport entrance to a building that's got like almost like the open rooftop that train station had back on Verdansk. There are those kind of windows that are like cylinder up top there that I would assume if you could get on that roof, you could see down into the main building from that. But yeah, just another coastal based area with established buildings. Then we got another Treyarch map from COD 2024, a rendering of what that could be called Stealth. It appears that this takes place on a military base. There were some hangars. Then inside there was some kind of like stealth bomber-like aircraft. And then there's some explosions going on in the background. Almost kind of looks like it could be like an Area 51 base. It looks kind of deserty, but that could also be a lot of other air bases, so that's a thing. But yeah, the main thing that I think people will focus on from that leaked image is the aircraft, just because that sort of stealth bomber, I'm not super familiar with aviation and aircrafts, but that was seen there. We have another map called Swap Meet. I don't think that's the actual name of the map. Kind of a weird name, but this appears to take place in some kind of Spanish city. There was like a little archway. There's a stone street, plenty of modern vehicles, and then it literally kind of looks like Havana from Black Ops 1 in a way, with how the buildings are styled. Very colorful buildings, two-story windows, some doorways in the front, just up like a sort of strip of a street that has just a bunch of buildings placed right next to each other. basic as it gets for a town, but that was another map that we saw. Absolutely absurd amount of stuff that I was not expecting to see pop up left and right on the Twitter timeline yesterday, let alone images. We get tons of text-based leaks. We're going to talk about plenty of them in the coming days this week. This is interesting because Warzone Mobile is the source for all of this, and I wonder if that's going to cause some problems at Activision because everything's being built off of this engine and it's all being pushed into Warzone Mobile somehow. So that's going to wrap things up for today. Unfortunate that I can't give you guys more details on these maps outside of my very ambiguous descriptions, but like I said, if you really want to try and get a look at these images for yourself, I'm sure there's somewhere on Twitter, on Reddit, but that's gonna do it. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, let me know by dropping a like on it, and if you're new here, feel free to hit that sub button and turn on those post notifications. And also right now, Gamer Advantage, free shipping all weekend long. My partner code Immortal stacks on top of that, so you get 10% off your order and free shipping. If you want to get a pair of glasses for yourself, link will be down below. But once again, thank you so much for tuning in, and until next time, take it easy, have an awesome rest of your day, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace out.